Great discussion, and I want you also to please contribute to this discussion we are having. Please, I just want you to help me tag as many people as possible. We shall soon be starting now, and we will be having that discussion. I'm going to be learning from you, and you are also going to be learning from me. So this morning is going to be a great morning for every one of us. Just getting ready now. I want as many friends on Facebook to get ready for this discussion. It has been a national discussion. Yes, we just want to discuss about it because it has to do with the church. It has to do with our children. It has to do with our children, and it has to do with the church. It has to do with the church. It has to do with our children. It has to do with those people that we are caring for, those people God has put into our church. So this morning we will be talking about brokenness in the life of those children that we are expected to take care of. So you are all welcome. I can see Brother Dele Dada all the way from Nigeria. God bless you. Adebayo Shineye, I can see you. God bless you as you continue to follow. So we are discussing brokenness in the life of children that are in our custody, children that God has given unto us to take care of. The Bible made us to know that children are the heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is a reward. So we will be talking about our future. We want to talk about children. We want to talk about their future. We want to talk about what is likely that some of the children might actually be going through. Sincerely, I've been so silent about this because I've not actually got the right time to talk about it. But I think now is the time. So thank you for those of you that are following. So we'll be discussing on brokenness in the life of our children. My desire this morning is that the Lord will use this venue to wake us up as parents. God will use this medium to wake us up as children, as the children are giving us a lot of signals to tell us that they are in trouble in this troubled generation, and it seems like we are too busy to be attentive to what these children are actually really going on around them in their lives. So please, if you have a child or you have someone you are caring for, please join and tag somebody that you think this will be beneficial to. So today we'll be looking at the story in the book of 2 Samuel chapter 13. We'll be looking at 2 Samuel chapter 13, and it's a story that I believe that every one of us that are Bible reader, we know about it. And it's a story that goes around Tamar. The story that went around Tamar and how Tamar was raped by his half-brother. And in the international scene today, you all begin to hear the story about Robert Kelly in America, that great singer, and how a lot of evidence are coming out against him for what he has actually done in the secret. I was at work yesterday night and I was watching, and this prompted me to decided to make this video. This prompted me to come out and speak about this. This prompted me to just want to say something about what is actually really going on in the lives of our children. Tamar was a daughter of David. David. Maybe we should just look at it by the grace of God. Tamar, a daughter of David, and in the custody of David in the palace, Tamar was raped by his own brother. And sincerely, beloved, I will let you know that there are a lot of things that are going on, even in the face of parents, that they are not aware of. There are a lot of things that are going on in the face of teachers in school that they are not aware of. There are a lot of things going on in the face of pastors in the church, in the life of children that we are not aware of. So this morning we'll be talking about clues that these children might be given to us when they are in trouble, because we believe that God in His infinite mercy will help our children. We build them back, put them back together again, as many of them that has actually been broken. So when we are talking about brokenness, we are talking about defiling a child. When an adult defiles a child, when somebody that is a child that is put into custody of an adult is being defiled, when a brother defied the sister, when a teacher defies a child, when a minister or pastor defies a child, when siblings begin to sleep with themselves under the roof of their parents. All these things are things that we can categorize as brokenness. And see, it's not just only the side of the men alone. Like when big sisters begin to sleep with their junior brothers, or junior brothers being defied by their sisters' friends, and all sorts of things that shouldn't be mentioning. When a child goes through it, the child could be referred to as being broken. And with study, with understanding, with things that I've had, people have counseled, I discovered that when you talk about brokenness, most of the time it's not far from the home. It's not far from the home. Like Tama's case was just within the palace environment, that the brother just decided to take advantage of her sister, and at the same time, the situation was reported to the king, but the king never did anything about it. And that's the irony of it. When a child is being defiled, especially maybe a child being defiled by the father, or a child being defiled by a close relative, and the child decided to lift up his or her voice to cry for help, the child is being tagged the bad child of the family, or the child is being quieted. Don't say anything, you will spoil the name of the family, you will do this, you will do that. And this will continue to bring forth pain into the mind of such a child, and that child will eventually grow one day to become an abuser himself or herself. And like that is the situation of Robert Kelly, that American singer, because we were made to know that when they were young, the sister, the immediate senior sister, by name Teresa, was the one defiling the boys in the custody of their parents. So you don't need to go very far when you're talking about the defilement, especially in the family. You don't go far. We've seen fathers sleeping with their daughters. We've seen uncles sleeping with their cousins, sleeping with their nephews. We've seen different kind of things that cannot just be imagined. We've seen stepfathers defiling their stepsons and stepdaughters. We've seen teachers harassing, defiling children that should be under their custody. But the reason why I decided to speak out and decided to make this video is just because when we look at Robert Kelly's case, we were made to know that the Kellys, the family, the children within the family were raised in the church. Their mother raised them in the church. The children were raised in the church. And that's why I'm lifting up my voice, that when children are giving us signals, they do give us signals. And I'm still going to mention some cases that I personally came across and I cancelled during one of my trips to Africa. When children begin to give us clue that they are being tormented, troubled, being harassed, being going through pains of people that are older than them, sleeping with them, having sex with them, they do give us clue. But most of the time, as parents, we are not always attentive. We are not always looking to their side. When a child of 3-year-old is being defied by a child of 10 years, and they're of the same sibling, and the child is trying to give the parent clues. Most of the time, we don't actually really look onto those signs that those children are giving unto us. They do give us signs of, I'm in pain, I'm crying, I need help, can you help me, I'm in trouble. These children do give us clues. There was a case of a girl, a 7-year-old girl, that the mother's, his uncle, was sleeping with in the house, and the girl was trying to give the mother a clue. Whenever the mom is going out, the girl will be crying, can't I go with you? Can't I go and stay with someone? And the mother will be saying, can't you stay with your uncle? Stay with your uncle. So it's just like you are giving the cat the fish. And this uncle continued molesting and defiling this young lady for many years. And by the time the girl grew up, she grew up with pain, she grew up with sorrow, and the question she's always asking is that, where is my mom? Where is my mom? When under her roof, somebody was defiling me. And the same thing happens to some of mothers too, that there are some fathers that I don't know how to describe them, that they defy their own children, and the children will be giving the mother signal. And at times, there are some mothers that will actually sense what is actually going on. But instead of you to put your feet on the ground and deliver your child from the molester, but maybe because the molester is the father, you are trying to cover that kind of a father. All you are just doing is you are destroying that future of that child. Immediately that child is totally broken inside, emotionally broken, psychologically broken. It will only take God to fix that girl's or boy's life again. And that's why this morning we are calling the attention of every parent. We have to be attentive. It's an issue that most of the time you see the women talking about it. We need to talk about it, especially when it has to do with the church. We have to talk about it because it cannot just continue. These children are our tomorrow. They are the tomorrow of the church. They are the future of the church. They are the one that will take the gospel to another level tomorrow. So we cannot just allow just anybody to just begin to defy those innocent souls, innocent hearts, innocent children. There are some stepfathers. They are just so animalistic in manner. That children that you should protect because you married their mother, you'll be the one sleeping with them. And these children will be growing under your roof. They'll become so rude. They'll become so rude. They won't listen. They will become disobedient. And they are not that kind of disobedient children before the man married their mother. And the woman cannot even look beyond her own eyes and say, what's happening? What's happening to this child? Why is this child behaving this way? And draw your child closer, interview the child, ask the child questions, show the child love, so that the child could be able to open up for you, so that you could save a life. What will it cost us? What will it cost us to be there? What's the cost for us to be there for our children? What will be the cost for us to protect our children? For many years, Robert Kelly was being molested by the sister, the same parents. So there could be, there's the possibility that there could be defilement within parents. There's possibility that there could be defilement between children of the same parent. Children of the same parent, there's the possibility, especially when the parents are not there to watch, when the parents are not always there for them. And that is what we see in Robert Kelly. The sister defied her, trained her, and she trained him, and it became so controlling. It became so bitter, it became so broken. The brother was talking about how they were being molested, how they were being defied by their own sister, who their mother has give them to take care of them, to look after them. Especially those of you that do not actually really have time for your children. You always give your children to minders. And most of the minders are not being checked. No gather check, no police check. You just commit the children into the hand of your minder, because the money is cheap. And immediately you go from home, the minder can just take your child and do whatsoever, and sow the seed of discord, seed of evil, seed of pain, seed of agony into the life of the child. There are some children that are raised in the church. By the time you see them, they become prostitutes. They become drug addicted, because they are just trying to show the world the pain they have gone through as children. Yeah. They are showing it. They are showing what they have kept within them. They are showing what parents couldn't help them to solve. They are showing to the parent the pains we've caused them, because we are not there to watch them. Because we are not there to protect them. We are not there to preserve them. We are not there to keep them. We are too busy. Yeah. Because we are too there. We're too busy. We're too busy. Work. It's all we have. We don't interact with our children. We don't sit with them. We don't ask them questions. Or maybe we believe that when the children are giving us clue, we believe everything is right. One time I cried out when she was being defied by the brother. Their father David never did anything. There are some parents, you don't do anything, even when you see your child being defied. David never did anything. A lot of parents, you don't do anything. They don't do anything. And they see their child being defied by their own husband, their stepfather. Especially those mothers that, I'm sorry to say this, especially those mothers that you knew very well that the man you are marrying to, the stepfather of these children, you know how I don't want to use a bad word when it comes to opposite sex, and before you know it, you introduce your teenagers onto such a man that you have not proved. It's not yet proven. You just brought him home because of your own personal enjoyment. You don't care about the children, and you don't care about your future. Before you know it, he begins to sleep with your child, begins to sleep with your daughter, molesting your child under your own roof. And more so, by the time they know your timing, they know the time you go to work, they know the time you are not always at home, the child could be molested. And when you come back and the child is giving you a clue, you are too tired. Or at times, because you have lost so many husbands, you want husband by force. By the time the child is complaining about that kind of story, you don't want to listen to that child. You don't want to listen to that child because you want husband by force, by fire. And that children will begin to be molested. That child will begin to be molested. And that child will be unhappy, will be sad. That child will not be performing well in school because that little child is carrying a burden that is greater than her. There are different kinds of ways that children are being taken advantage of nowadays. And we are not looking outside. Today we are not looking so far. We are looking inside the home, inside the church, inside the school, cousins, nephews, nieces, immediate brothers, siblings of the children of the same parents. That's all what we're just looking today. That we need to rise up and protect our children. We need to rise up and protect them before it is too late. Everybody's pointing accusing finger to Robert Kelly now, today, and every day, especially when they're viewing the program that has to do with him on telly. Until the brother came out and speak that since they were babies, that their immediate sister Teresa was the one molesting them under the cover of their parents. And the boy said many times, he would cry to his mom, "Can't you stop going to work today?" Just for the mother to have a clue. But the mother never paid attention. But the mother she's gone to glory today. But the mess is everywhere. So when children are giving us signal about being molested, let's pay attention to it. Let's pay attention to it. Let's pay attention to it. I have so many examples. That if time permits us today, we can just quickly look at it. All those children, their future is so bright. The Bible says children are the heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is the reward. We don't want these children to be broken. We don't want them to be killed while they are alive. A prince could be broken and it will become a pauper. A princess could be broken and she will become a pauper. Please do not let anybody break our children. Do not let us allow it. Let's watch over them. They are our tomorrow. Our children are our tomorrow. I rather not have anything, but have my children. And I know somebody outside there, you agree also with me. Tamar, a whole princess, she became broken, and she became desolated. Please do not let us allow it. Let us stand up for our children. Let's be watchful. Let's put on an eagle eye and watch our children. Let's watch them. Please, let's watch them. Let's watch them. It is not easy for children to take away the pain of their defilement. When somebody defiles a child, that child will carry that pain for the rest of their life. And that's why you begin to see children putting on an attitude of being useless. Tamar couldn't get off her pain. She could not get off the pain. Tamar couldn't get it off because it was just too big for her to hide. But most of our children that have been defied by family members, they are afraid to speak. They are afraid to talk. The only thing they do is give signal. They give us signal that something is going wrong, something is not well. When a child is defied, is a sort of humiliation and shame to that child. Those children that have been defied, they know it's not right, but they don't know who they can talk to. They don't know who can help them. I come across somebody that spoke to me in confidence that they have been defied in the church. That the person that introduced them to the church is still the same person that is sleeping with them. Please, it's not a good story, but it's happening. And we can rise up to help our children, rise up to help our teens, rise up to help our youth. Ask questions. Ask questions. Always ask questions. Ask direct questions. Ask questions jokingly as parents. And if your child is being molested, promise the child that you're going to help her or him. Stand by the child. You need to stand by our children. It's getting so alarming today that people don't even care again. You cannot even trust anybody to put your child in their custody. You cannot trust anybody. The only person you can trust with your child is yourself. Cannot even ask somebody, can you just help me pick my child up? Because during the course of picking and dropping, a lot of things could have happened. And that's why we're talking about it. Talking about it today. Especially as a father. Because I know most of the time you discover that women would take this up. But fathers, we should stand for our children. Let's stand for them, protect them, preserve them, and keep them. And if you are in a relationship, and your child is a stepchild to a man, and the child is complaining about the man, listen to that child. Don't be fooled for love. Don't be fooled for love. And it's not just only men that defile, women also defile. Know who you are going to put into the custody of your child. And for as many of us that are far away in Africa, please take care of your child or your children. If you need to go to work and you need somebody to keep your child, and your mind is not at peace with that person, please, why not just look for an organization that could be verified, whereby the child could be kept. Because you discover that off age, what the children know or what they are aware of when it comes to sexual intercourse is so alarming. Apart from the fact that they watch everywhere. Please, let's rise up. Let's rise up for our children, please. Please, let's rise up for them. They are our tomorrow. They are our tomorrow. Please, let's rise up for our children before it is too late. Because there could be a time that it could just be too late. Let's rise up for our children. Let's defend them. Let's preserve them. Let's keep them. Let's listen to them. Let's listen to our children. I came across. Can I just seek your indulgence to tell you this? I'm not going to mention the name, and I'm not going to mention where it happened. But I'm gonna tell you it's a true life story. I came across a lady during my charity trip to Africa, and she came to our group for counseling. Peradventure, she might even be watching this program. I'm not going to mention her name, and I'm not going to mention where it happened. She's an upcoming artist, doing very wonderful in gospel songs in Africa. And she narrated a story that one day on their way from the choir practice, she was raped. And she was not just raped by somebody that does not know her. She was raped by somebody that they were both coming from the choir practice together. And she said she does not know who to speak to. She said because that was her first experience. And as she was telling us, she was crying. She said because immediately that happened to her, her inspiration went off. Immediately she was broken, her inspiration went off. Which I believe because she was not actually emotionally balanced again. She has been broken. The joy disappeared. Somebody she trusted took advantage of her while coming from choir practice. And as she was narrating the story to us, she was just weeping. She was weeping and crying. She's just a young girl serving in the church, walking, enjoying her freedom. And suddenly somebody just grabbed her. Somebody she trusted, somebody she believed. Both of us are coming from the church. We are children of God. And that made her inspiration to just disappear. And she lost her confidence. And the question we were asking her was, who did you tell? Did you tell your mom? You said you were very close to your mom. Why not? Why did you not tell your mom? Why did you not tell your brothers? So she was ashamed to. And the person that should be ashamed walked free. And the innocent became guilty. And this is what happened. When a child is being molested within a household, they're not going to, it will take the grace of God for a child to open up. Especially when the parents are busy parents and we are always going out, going up, going down. And the child is giving us a clue and we are not even listening. So the lady has to be the lady has to be referred to the pastor of the church where we went to minister in Nigeria for counseling. This is happening. It's not that it's not happening. Came across another one. And those of you that were my counselors, you know the story. You really know the story. I'm just talking about it now because it's an international issue now. That Robert Kelly, a musician of that caliber, could be so deadly. And more so, he was raised in the church. The other case was that of a young boy, a boy of 7-year-old. 7-year-old. The mother is a nurse. Permit me to use that example. I'm not going to mention your name, and I'm not going to tell you where the story takes place. The boy is just 7 then. The mom, she's a single mother. She's a nurse. And suddenly she brought her own sister of about 20 home to be taking care of his son while he is at work. I tell you, the aunt sleeps with the boy till the boy becomes 14 years. The boy became 14 years, and it started since the problem started. The boy kept on giving the mother clues. The mother refused to see. She couldn't see it through. She couldn't understand the problem going on under our own house. She couldn't understand that our own sister is daily killing the only son. And by the age of 14, the boy ran away from home. The boy became so rebellious and ran away from home. Today, they will say they saw him at A. Tomorrow, they will say they saw him at Z. That was how he was for 6 years of his life, while his mates were in school. But because somebody molested, somebody he trusted, somebody that was to take care of him, not just anybody, immediate junior sister of the mom, the boy became a tout. You know what touts are? Those people that are bus conductor in Nigeria, sleeping under the bridge. The only thing that worked for him when he was narrating his story was grace, because he said while he was under the bridge, sleeping all about, he learned a musical instrument. He learned how to play piano. One day, the curiosity of looking for a piano to play after learning brought him to one of the church. And eventually he gave up his life, met with the pastor, gave his story, called the mother. Already 20, 6 years after leaving home, left at 14. When the boy was narrating the story, he said when he was narrating the story, the mother was crying. The deed has been done. It has actually been done. When the boy went through molestation from the aunt for 6 years under the roof of the mother, ask me, what was the mother doing? $20 years. He came back home. 20 years. He left at 14. Because he wanted an escape. He wanted freedom. The pain was just too much for him. Molestation within the family caused children pains. It will make a child, a proper child, to become abusive. It will make a proper child to be a child of anger. It makes a proper child to become a child of sorrow. A proper child under molestation will become rebellion. Especially when you continually put that child into the custody of his abuser. And today, this is what is causing a lot of trouble. Especially, I'm not talking about people that are not Christian. I'm talking about Christian homes and Christian families. Children that are being given proper training, children that you have invested money on, training them, sending them to school, and giving them everything they wanted, but you got their emotional life and psychological life broken by putting them into custody of somebody that is molesting them. A child that should be preserved and kept. Imagine, age of 6. And when a child goes through being abused, that child will become an abuser. That child will become an abuser. How I wish Robert Kelly's mother is alive today to see. We don't want a situation that we will be gone and people will be cursing us for things we do not know, mainly because we do not want to know and we do not pay attention to the signal that the children are giving us. Yeah. I always tell people that I was raised by a single mother. I lost my dad when I was so small. And it's not just a matter of cover up. It's a matter of truth. What I got to know is what I'm saying. Never saw my mom with another man. And she's not even a Christian. All I got to know her with is just working to take care of us, working. Even we would have wished that she has a man in her life. She will always tell us because of us. She knows that we are her husband. A lot of you single mothers out there, you have not even become single for a month. Before you know it, you would have bring a strange man home. And you know you have teenagers. You know you have children that are just coming up. And the children are giving you signals. You are not even paying attention to the signals. And that's why the children, you see some children, they become rebellious. And the seed of it's so painful. The seed of this kind of a seed, when it keeps on germinating, it goes from generation to generation. That's why you have to look after your children. Immediately the children begin their first alphabet, they must be trained to report anybody that touched them. They must be trained. Let them be trained. If anybody touched them, let them tell their parents. And parents, listen. Just don't say, he's playing with you, she's playing with you. The seed of molestation is like a circle. It's so painful. that a parent will raise up a star that the whole world will know. But within the corner of the room, there is pain. Let's question our children. Let's ask them, what is going on? They should report anything to you that they feel is not right. The children know it's not right. Gary Kelly, the junior brother of Robert Kelly, said at the age of 6, they know it was not fair. They know what Teresa, their sister, was doing to them was not good. But there was nobody they could report to. Because she's the one that has the sole custody of these children when their mothers are not around. Who has the sole custody of your own child when you are not around? Are they families? Are they people you bring to your home and pay? Some of us, when it comes to job, we don't mind anybody. Let them just wait the hours. I am going to work. Let them just wait with my kids. As long as they cover up for my kids while I'm away, I'm okay. They are not gather verified. You have not done police check on them. You don't know whether they are pedophile. Please, let's rise up to our responsibility. It's our business to care for our children. It's our business to protect them. They are children. We don't need our children to be broken. Or somebody will just take an advantage of your child and just walk away. Please, let's watch over our children. Let's watch over our children. There are things we don't have today. If our children are properly taken care of, we have it tomorrow. Please, let's take care of our children. Let's take care of them. So somebody somewhere will be asking me, what are some of the clues that as a parent you can begin to look for just to know that a child under your custody is being abused or being molested? One of the things you must take note of is when you are giving your child to somebody to look after, for somebody to look after your child, and the child keep on complaining that I don't want to go there. Some of us, where else do you want to go? You will just even give the child a slap. That's a clue. I don't want to go there. The next thing that should follow is sit down the child and begin to ask questions. I don't want to go there. Don't take me there. I'm not going. And if you insisted taking the child begins to cry, begin to wail, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. You should be able to know something is happening. Something is happening that you cannot see with your ordinary eyes. That you just have to ask the child, why? Or if somebody is coming visiting and the child just discovered that the person is so close to you and the child decides to run away. Say, no, I don't want to see this person. The child is not going to tell you, I don't want to see the person. The child will just run away. For the first time, second time, third time. Then you should ask questions. What's happening? Maybe the child is giving you a signal that this man is giving me trouble. This man appears to be friends to the family, but when he sees me outside, he's always making a move. Ask questions. Ask questions. And so when you call somebody your close friend and your child says, no, I don't want to see the person, you have to ask questions. We don't have to be blind. You have to ask questions. Another clue, especially for the little ones or children, when you are going out and you put them under the custody of somebody and they are telling you, please do not go, mom. Or what they are telling you is that, please do not leave me with this devil. Do not leave me with this destroyer. They will ask questions. It does not matter whatever might be the loud noise all around you. Your own child will always give you a clue. So ask questions. Ask questions. Ask questions. It's a good thing to ask them questions. A child might just be blunt. And you know, there are some children that are, how can I call them? They are bold, you know. They are not the kind of children that are timid, you know. That kind of a child will just call the person name. And you say, why? Why are you calling? Because that's what the name of the person is. And the child is just giving you a clue for you to ask a deeper question. Maybe you've always been putting him or her under the custody of the uncle, and the child got to know that the uncle is coming. You announce it, your uncle is coming to stay. Your uncle is coming to stay with you for a day or two, and the child said, that one. Oh, it's not my own uncle. Something is going on that you have to find out. Please, parents, let's rise up to our responsibility. Don't let it be too late before we begin to respond. And also in the church, when a child, let the children be children, and let the adult be adults. Don't just introduce into the children department people that are not gather vetted. You can't just introduce somebody to the children that are not gather vetted. We need to take care of our children. We need to care for them. And for the teens and the youth in the church, try and please, let's give them somebody by the grace of God that they can look up to, somebody they can talk to, somebody that could always be with them together in their gatherings. A lot of things are happening in gatherings of the teenagers and the youths. Gatherings of the teens and the youth, things are happening. I've had somebody speaking to me when we were in Africa of how they call a meeting for the teenagers. They said it's a night vigil for teenagers, but it's a night of demonic indoctrination whereby they were sleeping with these young children. And tell me, those children will be beaten, and tomorrow they will never come to church. They will not even become Christians. So if we are in charge, let's be totally in charge. Let's put our eyes to it. We just need to put our ego eye into it. Look after our children. We need to look after them. Let's look after them. And for children that play sports that are young, especially in this part of the world, please, let's watch our children. We don't want to send them to do things they love and they will come back being bitter and end up not doing it. Just because somebody molested them, just because somebody break them. My prayer is that the Lord in His infinite mercy will help us keep our children. They will be well monitored. They will be well looked after. The Spirit of the living God will protect and preserve them. But please, let's just do our bit. It is our responsibility to watch after our kids. It's our sole responsibility to look after them. Some children I do not say it's not good. There's some children that are always good for sleepovers. Please know the home your child is going. Know the home your child is going. If you don't know people that your children are going to their house, find out about them before you entrust your child into other people's home for sleepover, if the child needs to go for sleepover. Because in the course of sleeping over, a lot of things could happen. And the child is not going to get home to tell you. The child will keep on bottoming. And by this, some children have become so rebellious. Some children have become addicted to drugs. Some have been addicted to alcohol. Some have become prostitutes just because they have things in their heart that they could not share with anybody. Please, I'm just speaking out today that parents, please, let's do our bit. Let's do our bit. We're calling attention of ourselves together onto this. Let's just do our bit. Let's create more time for our children and less time for things that are not important. My prayer once again is that God will keep us as parents. He grant unto us wisdom and understanding to nurture our children right. And God will help us to keep our children. Looking forward to hear your opinion and your comments. Till I will see you again, by the grace of God, next week. Thank you so much. Thank you.